not attached to your house. It's like you go to this separate area where you have a garden. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Montana and I used to live in Passau, Germany, but now I study German in the US. I've been back to Germany a ton of times and I'm super excited because I'm back in my old room. The lighting is so good, it's beautiful, and well, it's not really that beautiful outside. It's a bit rainy and cold and very German winter weather, but I'm excited to make another video with you guys, and this time it is on sort of aspects of German culture that I forgot about. The last time that I was here was in March, but it was only I was in Hamburg for a little bit and it didn't really feel like being fully back in Germany again. So I've got got 6 little sort of stories or things to talk about on German culture and just things that I kind of forgot about. So the first one is very obvious, and I think a lot of Germans have been dealing with this lately, and it's just problems with Deutsche Bahn, öffentliche Verkehrsmittel, so like public transportation. And for me, it's never been too big of a problem. You can turn the Deutsche Bahn app totally into English. I can also read German, but this past trip in particular has been a little difficult because in Munich there was a ton of snow during the first week of December, and the snow made it really hard for planes to come in. It made it hard for all the S-Bahns, and in general it's made public transportation a lot harder. On top of that, there have been Bahn strikes, so a lot of the workers have been on strike, and it's just led to some complications. The next thing that I think is so funny about German culture, and I just completely forgot about until I came to this trip, was those weird little garden houses. Maybe it's only in Munich or maybe it's all around in Germany. You guys will have to let me know. But they're these little houses with small gardens next to them, and you like rent them, I think. I honestly have no clue how they work, but they're not attached to your house. It's like you go to this separate area where you have a garden, and it's like a giant community of a bunch of small gardens. And I guess it's for people who live in the city and want a garden but don't have space in their house, or I have no clue what it was, but they're really cute. They're just so interesting, and I can't imagine that ever existing in the US. I wrote this one down, just says street style of little German kids. This has 2 meanings. One is the really little German kids wear like super colorful rain gear and they just look so German. I don't know what it is. I think it's like the type of like Jack Wolfskin jacket, just the type of jackets that they wear with these little hats. But then I also wrote this down because I forgot that the age of like 10 to 14 kids here are so stylish, and they wear very much streetwear clothes, stylish wear, like big oversized t-shirts and like all gray and dark and black and monochrome, and they're so young but they look so old. And it's so interesting because in the US, I guess now the trend is to dress older, but not, it just doesn't look as European. And also it's just such a shock to see all of these little kids riding the bus alone, going through Munich, this giant city, all alone. I think the kids I saw were probably like 9 or 10, and they were just riding to Olympia Park. Another thing that I thought was so strange was I got this delicious little Lebkuchen, and then it was coated in white chocolate and it was delicious, but on the bottom of it was like a church wafer. And it's just so German. I remember that on the Lebkuchen for like St. Niklaustag. Maybe they do that so that the bottom of it doesn't burn, but I think the texture of it tastes so bad and it just like ruins the cookie almost. So I forgot about that and was not too pleased. I like tried to rip it off, but it's really hard because it's part of the cookie. Because they like take essentially like a church cracker or church wafer, and you put that on the bottom and then you put the cookie dough on top. I'm not trying to come across wrong with any of these. I understand, I love German culture. Obviously I come here all the time, and I just think it's funny because sometimes I forget when I go back to the US and then I come here. I went to the Christmas markets, and it was very much a thing in Munich that I would always ask if I could pay with card, because I came with about 50 euros in cash, and I didn't want to have to take money out of the bank because I'm only here for a little over a week. So everywhere I would go, I would say, oh, can I pay with card? And a lot of times I would understand if it was like 10 euro or like minimum 10 euros or so on. But I went to this one stand and I was trying to buy that ornament, and okay, I figured I was not gonna be able to pay with card because it was only 3 euros, but sometimes it's a surprise. And I know in a lot of the bakeries, especially if it's like a chain, they'll let you pay with card even if it's like 2 euros. So I asked this man, in German of course, and I'm like, yeah, can I pay with card? And he starts going on this rant, like not yelling at me, but sort of yelling at me. And he's like, are you kidding me? Of course you can't pay with card, like it's only 3 euros. Do you not understand that they would charge me more than 3 euros just to use the credit card machine? And the only reason that you can pay with card for such little value in other countries is because there's so much corruption. And he was just like, I just can't believe you would even ask that, like blah, blah, blah. And I was just standing there in shock. I wasn't mad or like upset. I was just so in shock that he felt the need to tell me like this whole rant on why I couldn't pay with card when like a simple no would have sufficed. And I'm not saying that that's very German, but it felt in the moment very German. And the last one I have is that Netflix, oh my gosh, I didn't realize this until my host sister actually said something, but Netflix in Germany is so dark. Like in comparison to the US, all of the movies and shows, of course not all, I'm making some generalizations, but so many of them are like war and dark and scary thrillers, or there's just something really bad that happens right in the beginning of the show. Yes, we have these sorts of shows in the US, but it's also so filled with rom-coms and super light, fluffy shows, and everyone in the US loves reality TV and so on. So when I was looking at all of the options, because I was trying to download stuff for the train and also for the flight and so on, flight home, I just was thinking like, wow, why are they all so dark? And I know like one of the most famous shows from Germany is Dark, which I've had to watch for a German serial media class at the University of Virginia, and that was just so weird and strange. And yeah, I think in Germany there's those like really cheesy sort of kitschy movies. One German actor who's actually Austrian, I think, and he's in every single movie, where it's like super lighthearted and like women go on a trip, or like two brothers go on a trip, something like that. And there's those kinds of movies, and then there's like war and so dark and someone dies, or murder mystery thriller, and then there's like no in between. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any comments on my culture shock, please let me know in the comments below. I think that it's super interesting to be back in Germany, and I love when I come here I just immediately start writing down all the differences. So thanks so much for watching, guys. Bleibt gesund, bis nächstes Mal und tschüss.